Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. If live breaking news and following true crime is your thing, then please consider subscribing to my channel. And if you like what you see in my videos, please consider giving them a thumbs up.
Roberta.
Good morning, Roberters. We have some breaking news. Welcome to J is for Justice podcast. My name is Jay, and I am your host. If you like what you see here, which I think you will, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up. I was all prepared today to bring you guys the jury selection in the Aiden Fucci trial. If you aren't familiar with, you're like, who's Aiden Fucci? Aiden Fucci stabbed Tristyn Bailey 119 times. He was set to be in court today with jury selection starting. Well, Mr. Fucci went into court today and changed his plea from not guilty to guilty. And we have one clip of Aiden Fucci saying he's sorry. Let's listen. The audio is not the best. I'll continue to try to find a new clip, but this is the only one that I can find. This is just happening 10 minutes ago. Here we go.
Okay. And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure that there'll be an opportunity, obviously, at sentencing hearing to speak again at that time. Okay?
Yes, sir.
That was it. Let's listen again.
Okay.
And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure that there'll be an opportunity, obviously, at sentencing hearing to speak again at that time. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So he says he wants to say he's sorry to the Bailey family and to his family. And the judge says there'll be an opportunity for you to speak, excuse me, for you to speak at sentencing. Oh, you guys couldn't hear it? The middle guy is him. The one in the suit in the middle is Aiden. And then that's his lawyers and like his advocate. Let me see why you guys don't have any audio. Hold up. Then we've got another video of a lady who she's like, you know, getting ready to talk about the trial. And she's like, wait, hold on. We have some breaking news. Okay, there is sound. If you don't have sound, then it's your problem. All right, I'm going to play that one more time, and then we're going to watch the lady when she found out.
Okay.
And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty.
Look at the judge's face. The judge's face. Priceless. It sounded like not guilty, but they're saying he pled guilty. I don't know. This is 12 minutes ago. I want to say I'm sorry. Aiden Fucci enters guilty plea. Now watch this. This lady was talking about, she was just waiting for shit to begin.
But the big news right now, the breaking news, is that Aiden Fucci, the teenager accused of stabbing to death Tristyn Bailey in St. Johns County, her body found on Mother's Day weekend, on Mother's Day itself, changing his plea from not guilty to guilty. So the trial, as we thought was going to happen, the jury selection today is not going to happen, but there is going to be a sentencing hearing at 9 a.m. on February 23rd. We'll find out more from our legal analysts on First Coast News at noon and our team of reporters covering this breaking news. We'll take you back to the program you were watching. Thank you for joining us.
She's like, okay, that was a big nothing burger because it's over. Let's play it again. I'm pretty sure he said guilty. I plead guilty. Let's listen again.
Okay.
And Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay.
I plead I'm guilty is what he says. I plead I'm guilty. I don't know what his dialect is, but that's what he says.
Mr. Fucci just wanted to make a short statement.
I just want to say I plead not guilty, and that I'm sorry for the Bailey family and my family.
Okay. Okay. I'm sure that there'll be an opportunity, obviously, at sentencing hearing to speak again at that time.
I plead I'm guilty is what he says. Nothing like confusing everyone at the last minute. But yeah, I wanted to bring you guys that. I don't know, after all these delays and stuff, her family, I feel like when I heard that he pled guilty, I was like, you know what? I felt like a lift, because can you imagine the anxieties her family felt or would have felt, sitting through all of this? I don't know. He's been in prison for a while. Look at how he's changed, you guys.
Absolutely devastated by this.
Look how much he's changed in 2 years. Let's see this one.
Tonight, a teenager accused of murdering his 13-year-old classmate has been threatening and extorting other teen inmates, according to jail officials, with new material we've just received.
So where are they going to put him? Are they going to put him in general pop at 15 years old? Holy cow, Angie B, you've been a reporter for a year already?
Roberta, the proof is in the pudding, if you will.
To records obtained by First Coast News.
Check this out,
Fucci
10 days ago.
Has threatened violence against correction officers and other inmates and allegedly bragged about his crime. Tonight in our top story on First Coast News at 5, Fucci is charged with murdering 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey by stabbing the St. Johns County teenager more than 100 times. He has pleaded not guilty.
You guys, more than 100 times? Think about the Moscow murders we've been following. And think about this poor girl. Yeah, he's eating all kinds of shitty food in jail, and he's gotten fat. Yes, Lala, this is the kid that his mom freaking washed his pants. So his mom is still facing charges, I believe.
On Your Side's Rich Donnelly joins us now from the newsroom with how one of the outbursts could be used in next month's murder trial. Rich?
Yeah, Jeannie, 16-year-old Aiden Fucci goes on trial for first-degree
this might be one of the reasons he pled out. Let's listen.
Murder next month, but his alleged history of violence against other inmates goes back more than a year. In fact, according to jail records, on Christmas Day of 2021, Fucci admitted to stabbing and killing a girl. Fucci is being housed at the Duval County Jail while he awaits trial in St. Johns County. According to jail officials, on Christmas Day of 2021, officers used a taser to break up a fight between Fucci and another inmate. 1 month later, an inmate told officers that Fucci has been threatening inmates and said he would stab that inmate. The inmate said Fucci claimed,
Jesus,
quote, he's real because he stabbed a girl face to face and took her life. We spoke with a local attorney who said that alleged admission could be used against Fucci in next month's trial.
It's not a violation of any Fifth Amendment right. It's not made to law enforcement. It wasn't made in response to questioning. It's a spontaneous statement. He can absolutely be used against him. Now, he could take this.
So he's threatening to stab other inmates, and they were saying this was going to be used against him. He got into a fight. He threatened to stab someone. Not a good move. Not a good move. But look at how he's changed from, this is the day he was arrested. And this is recently. It's craziness. Let's see here. A year ago, it says his parents were granted indigent status. Public defense team. Let's see what was going on with his parents a year ago. I haven't followed his parents.
Now to new information in the case of a teenage murder suspect. Aiden Fucci's parents were in court today to get a new attorney for him. Their
Thank you,
son
Angie.
is accused in the stabbing death of a St.
Congrats,
John's County
Casey.
cheerleader. 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey died nearly 2 weeks ago. On your side's Jessica Clark has been following this case closely. She joins us now with the new developments. Jess?
Yeah, Heather, as of today, Aiden Fucci's original attorney is out, and Aiden Fucci is getting a team of attorneys from the public defender's office.
Aiden Fucci, the teenage murder suspect, was not in the Zoom court hearing, but his parents were. First item of business, Anwar Snow.
I've never seen his dad.
Who represented Fucci in his first appearance last week, was in court Thursday, officially asking to be taken off the case.
And I'll grant your motion to withdraw at this time, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
The second item of business, Fucci's parents and their finances. They both
I've never seen his father. Holy crap.
asked the judge to be declared indigent. That means they cannot afford an attorney for their son, Aiden. And with this murder case, the legal fees are expected to be hefty. A little background here. Fucci's parents are not married. The teenager lives with his mother and her partner in the high-end Durbin Crossing neighborhood. But state statute says property is not considered when qualifying for indigency.
What? So they live in this nice-ass house and this isn't considered for indigency? They have the death penalty in Florida.
And Thursday, the judge wanted to know more about Fucci's father's finances.
And are you employed?
Yes, ma'am. I'm self-employed, but since this, the company has took a downward fall.
Okay, so that your company is just your only source of income?
Yes, ma'am.
Both of Fucci's parents were then deemed indigent, and because of that, the judge appointed the public defender's office to represent the 14-year-old.
Well, thank you, Your Honor. Actually, we're going to have a team of attorneys representing Aiden Fucci. We're glad you did that, Your Honor. It's a privilege to represent young Mr. Fucci.
A privilege.
The public defender says he expects his team.
So Shell's right. Because of his age, he is not eligible for the death penalty. But they did, when the grand jury indicted him, they did move his court from juvenile to criminal felony court. But he cannot be eligible for the death penalty because of his age, 15 years old.
Put in hundreds of hours into Aiden Fucci's defense. The issue of charging him as an adult is still up to the state attorney's office. Jessica Clark, First Coast News, back to you.
Oh, it's probably, if she's not married, yeah, good thinking. It's probably not put in because it's not only her house. I just wonder what's going on with her. Name's Crystal Smith. Let's see, since now her son has taken responsibility. Let's see what's going on with her. This is murder. 6 months ago. Accused of tampering with evidence. She was in court, it looks like. A year ago. What's this? Could social media trolls get charged in interfering in the case?
As the investigation continues into the murder of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey, her 14-year-old accused killer remains locked up in a juvenile detention center in Daytona Beach. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office tells us detectives there are following every lead, including tips about internet posts with teens claiming to have been involved. News4JAX I-Team investigator Vic Michelucci spoke with a local attorney about what we've learned is legally risky online behavior.
Lots of messages on social media from people claiming to be part of 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey's murder. We've been reviewing all of the accounts, but are not identifying them. The posts taunt her family and friends, and they're using the hashtag #FreeAiden.
It's hundreds and hundreds of leads.
Sheriff Rob Hardwick says his detectives have been bombarded with messages about these internet trolls, and they're investigating every tip. Nothing is off the table.
Interesting times, Vic, where we're trying to figure out, is this real? Is this legit? Is it coming from a person that's a possible witness? Well, we're going to find out and track down every single lead.
The sheriff says detectives have identified several accounts and are honing in on the posters. Florida state statutes show that someone could be charged with interfering with their investigation, whether it's resisting an officer or providing false information to law enforcement. The latter could lead to a felony.
Besides being heartless, is this criminal?
Can somebody go post something stupid on the internet, which is what's happening here? Yes. The question is whether or not they know what they're doing is impacting a criminal investigation. And what we have seen and what we know is that the sheriff's office has these individuals. They know who they are. They know who are the ones who keep posting.
Attorney Gene Nichols is...
Wow, that is terrible. Hundreds of people? People suck. You know what? I think we have a new video, actually.
All right, so we are following some breaking news right now.
Oh my God, at first I thought she spilled coffee down the front of her dress. I was going to be like, oh my God.
Coming out of St. John's
still waking
County,
up.
Aiden Fucci is pleading guilty to the first-degree murder of Tristyn Bailey. Today was supposed to be the first day of the trial as they were going to start jury selection. But this breaking news, this very surprising information that's just coming down is going to put a stop to this. Brianna Andrews is in the courtroom and she is tweeting out information because we are not able to necessarily communicate with her, so she's doing it this way. And she just tweeted that the judge is asking Fucci if he needs more time to go over this decision, and Fucci is declining. The judge also asked Fucci if he is satisfied with how he was represented in court. Fucci said he is satisfied with how he is being represented.
So right now, the judge, Judge Lee Smith, is confirming that Fucci has a right to a trial, and once he enters his plea, he's giving up that right to appeal it. Fucci says that he understands that decision and has had enough time to talk about it with both his parents as well as his defense.
Yes, if anybody's just joining, Aiden Fucci entered a guilty plea this morning when jury selection was supposed to be starting. That's what we were all expecting. After years of delay after delay after delay, he changed his plea. And this is the breaking news. And this is good news for her family.
Team. The judge is asking Fucci if he needs more time to go over this decision, and then we have learned that Fucci declined that opportunity. The judge also asked Fucci if he's satisfied with how he was represented in court, talking about his defense attorneys. Fucci says yes, he is satisfied with how he has been represented.
All right, so this certainly has been brewing now since 2021, almost 2 years.
I wish they just let us hear.
Murder of Tristyn Bailey. You know, the defense was really trying to keep this trial out of St. Johns County, saying that people would know about this because of the extensive media coverage. We do want to go to Gene Nichols, a criminal attorney not affiliated with this case. Gene, you know, we just gave you the phone call that this was coming down right now. Aiden Fucci pleading guilty to first-degree murder. What are your thoughts on this decision?
Hey, Gene, can you hear us? Well, while we work to get Gene patched through, I do want to say that Brianna Andrews, who's in the courtroom, is now saying that the judge, Judge Smith, who you see right there, has accepted Aiden Fucci's guilty plea of first-degree murder for the killing of Tristyn Bailey. So accepting the plea right there, and want to see if we can listen in just a little bit.
Yeah,
if we can turn that volume up.
No offense, but shut your pie hole, lady.
Days do you anticipate needing for the sentencing hearing itself?
2, Your Honor.
2 days.
Okay, on the state's behalf, I would say reserve one for us, post whatever.
Okay. Well, we'll set aside. We'll find 2 days. You won't tell me when you both will be ready, and then we will select those 2 days. And then any hearings or any motions that we need to address on February 23rd, we can address those at that time.
All right, so the judge is going over some of the details with Fucci, who's in the center of your screen right there, surrounded by his defense attorneys right now. Obviously, you have the penalty phase coming up next. Gene Nichols, an attorney not affiliated with the case, but a legal analyst for us, is on the phone. Gene, what's your reaction to all of this?
My first reaction is
why are they talking over it?
Why I'm surprised is a guilty plea is going to
Why are they doing this? Like, why aren't they letting us hear it?
end up being the same thing if he was convicted. His punishment is coming. He's going to receive the maximum punishment whether he went to trial or not.
He's not affiliated. We don't want to hear him. not affiliated with the case. Like, FDO, dude.
Put the family through a trial.
You know, Gene, you bring up his mother as him making this guilty plea today. The judge did say in 2 days.
I believe that is Tristyn's dad right there. Or is that their lawyer? Hold on, let's see.
Get the viewing of him as being someone
No
that
offense, but shut your pie hole,
is
lady.
very humble or taking responsibility for this. But, you know, there are a number of things that are coming into play as him making this guilty plea today. The judge did say in 2 days, 48 hours, that we will hear the sentencing on this. What are some of the things that could happen, as you just mentioned?
Well, again, I think one of the reasons why we heard Judge Smith be very specific in the plea dialogue or the plea colloquy was for exactly what you just said, that everything has been defiant up until this point. So because of that, Judge Smith wanted to make very clear that his plea was not being forced, not being coerced. It was a conscious decision that he made, and that he understood all of his rights to proceed to trial. So I'm not surprised that Judge Smith went into such detail. Have to suspect that because of what we have seen out of Aiden Fucci since the beginning of this case, that it must be in order to benefit his mother or anybody else that the state attorney's office was looking at. To go ahead and not have to put the family through a trial will go a long way with the state attorney's office when it comes to other people who potentially could be prosecuted. Exactly what you said, not to put the family through this will go a long way. It won't change his sentence.
I feel like we're listening to like something from 1960. Like, what the hell? All right, she was in the courtroom. Let's see what she's got to say. She was there.
Not what we expected at all. We haven't been able to see anyone just yet. You know, we're on one side of the courthouse and the family came in on the opposite side. We do know that State Attorney R.J. Larissa is here, so maybe we'll hear something from him. But again, this was not the way that many people expected the day to go. You had just last week with the defense attorneys doing everything they could to delay this trial. There was the argument after the state got the six-person jury. Well, the defense wanted a 12-person jury, and that was a lot of their argument throughout last week. They wanted to take it to the 5th District Court of Appeals. We expected an emergency writ to be filed sometime last week or even as early as this morning, but no, as soon as we got in the courtroom, we were expecting a load of jurors to come in. That did not happen. Instead, we were told that the defense attorneys turned their chairs around and they started to discuss with one another, and then they entered that plea of guilty. That apology, like you said, almost seeming as though it came out of nowhere. That was not the response that we were.
I wonder if her family knew that this was going to be potentially happening, or if they were surprised.
To
make sure you guys vote in the poll. I've got a few things up my sleeve with the Idaho 4 case, things that I've been looking into, things that I've been watching. So there's just a few little broad topics that I put in the poll so that I can see what your guys' interest is and what I can pick out of my box of tricks to show you today.
Here, especially with some of the evidence that has come out in regards to Fucci's actions ahead of all of this. When we spoke with the family prior to or early on in this situation, you know, obviously it's been traumatic for them. And then a lot of people are saying this could be a relief for them not having to sit through this trial and hear all the evidence. We don't know how all of this was going to pan out. That was the expectation, obviously, for this week. And now in 3 weeks, on February 23rd, we're expecting a sentencing. Now, also keep in mind, Crystal Smith, Aiden Fucci's mother, we're told that trial for tampering with evidence is still on for April. We're not exactly sure how that's going to pan out after this has taken place. Aiden Fucci said he did have time to speak this over with his defense attorneys. There was a lot of discussion, obviously, ahead of this. We don't know how that changed from last week with what seemed like that last-ditch effort by his defense attorneys. But now here we are getting ready to find that jury to be seated in this trial, but that has all changed.
Yep, all changed. So Aiden pled guilty. I want to show you guys something that I put together for this trial that was supposed to be starting. This will show you Aiden on the day he was arrested. How smug he was the day he was arrested.
Fun in a cop car. Yep. Tristyn, what's up, guys? Yeah. Tristyn, if you walk out the.
Another video from inside Fucci's home appears to show his mother cleaning the jeans police say Aiden wore the night of the murder. She's been charged for tampering with evidence to those jeans. Investigators say both the jeans and the sink.
There they are, washing the jeans.
Changed a few more times. New Snapchat videos show Fucci in the back of the cop car before he was a suspect.
In a cop car.
So I guess that's not happening, right? We figured that out. But let's watch this video to see what is going on with his mom. She was in court 6 months ago for a pre-trial hearing. So I don't know what's going to happen with her. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. Wow, it takes them long enough to start, eh? Is that her? Please say that isn't her. Oh my God. Look at them. They're like, smile, you're on candid camera. Oh, jeez, he tripped. He was embarrassed. He tripped right in front of the camera. Gotta love live TV, right? Where is this hearing? This might be it here. It's only a few minutes long, apparently.
Did I ask them to do that?
We'll have to wait and see, too, what kind of discovery we get after sentencing.
Cooperate. But cooperate. Yeah.
Hey, here's a new soundbite. Hey, Potato, check this one out.
Jennifer loves horses. Calls Crystal Smith, 21867.
Here we go, Crystal Smith.
Good morning. Good morning, Your Honor. Here for pretrial, I know that this case is tracking the other case. Mr. Broussard, can you just give me an update on where you are in the discovery process on this case?
Yes, sir. We're working our way through depositions. Since we last met, we had a round of depositions where we took the former IT specialist, I guess, with the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. There was some civilian witnesses that were set, but I think ultimately what happened is they may have been.
Can you guys hear it?
COVID at the time, and they were agreed to be rescheduled. So we're working through the deposition process, at least on our end, for the same witnesses that overlap with the related matter. And so in talking with Ms. Dunton, if we could continue the case and try to get these depositions completed, we'd appreciate it. I've done a little bit more research into my calendar since we were last together, and it appears that I have to be in D.C. on October 4 as well. So I don't know what that means in terms of scheduling going forward.
Steve?
Fine, Judge, if we want to even put this in a pre-trial posture in November, I think we'll have a better idea, and he probably could be complete, or near complete by that time.
When will you be available in November?
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell.
November 1, I'm looking good.
All right, I've got a pre-trial date set for November 1st. Would that be available on that day?
I should, yes.
All right, let's go ahead and set this for, would you like morning or afternoon?
Morning preferably.
9 a.m. November 1st for pre-trial.
November 1st. I wonder if that even happened.
Any other matters you need to address this morning on this case?
Not from me, Your Honor.
This day?
No.
All right, we'll see you back here.
Apparently, she didn't have to be there. This is for Aiden Fucci's mother. We were just trying to find out where her case stands. So Crystal Smith, this is Aiden's mom. She was accused of tampering with evidence because she washed his jeans that he wore the night that he murdered Tristyn Bailey. So that was the last court hearing that we saw. And then there was one scheduled for November 1st. So we're just kind of wondering what is going to happen with her now. Here's Inside Edition with a clip, and this is a camera from in their home caught her washing these jeans.
Does this just released surveillance video show the final moments of teenager Tristyn Bailey's
And they're saying this is Aiden and Tristyn walking that night.
life? It was taken the night the 13-year-old cheerleader was stabbed to death 114 times. The video is believed to show Tristyn and the suspect, 14-year-old Aiden Fucci, taking a stroll at night in the neighborhood. An hour later, the same camera captured the suspect running back in the other direction.
I want to know why they were together that night, though. Has that ever surfaced? Hey, Tiff. Casey, look at you. All made a Roberta today. Congratulations.
Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
Does anybody know if we ever got any confirmation? I'm kind of just curious as to the story behind, like, did she sneak out? Was there other people that they were supposed to meet? Like, why was she out there with him? Like, were they friends? Because they don't seem like a likely couple to be friends. Like, she was a cheerleader. He seems like he was pretty edgy, violent, according to his friends. Was she interested in a bad boy? I don't know.
Fucci pleaded not guilty at his first court appearance. This video was also just released. It shows a teenager believed to be Fucci walking up to a house barefoot, holding a pair of shoes. But this is the video that's raising lots of eyebrows. It's Ring security video that actually takes us inside Fucci's house. And prosecutors say it shows his mother washing a pair of jeans. Investigators say those jeans were later found to have traces of blood. So did the washing machine. Crystal Smith has pleaded not guilty to evidence tampering after allegedly washing the jeans while Fucci...
But why would they just have traces? 117 stabbings or whatever it was?
...was being questioned by police. Corey Peel is a reporter for WJXT-TV.
I think a lot of people do think that he did this. I think a lot of people are questioning if she knew. I think a lot of people, based on what's been said in the police reports, think that she might be covering it up.
Fucci's apparent callousness is shocking. He took this Snapchat video from the back of a police car when he was brought in for questioning.
Having fun in a cop car. Yep. Tristyn, what's up, guys?
He also posted this photo with the caption, "Hey guys, has anybody seen Tristyn lately?"
Sick. That's sick. So that's his mother washing his shoes. And then this was him a year ago. Remember, he acted all confused in this
The local teen
hearing?
accused of killing Tristyn Bailey faced a judge this morning. This is brand new video of Aiden Fucci.
Okay, this was only 1 year ago, you guys. Look how much this kid has changed in 1 year. He has become part of his environment. In 1 year, he has become his environment.
Appearing virtually in a St. John's courtroom. You can see him just rocking back and forth there on the phone. At one point, Fucci also began talking about demons. Action News Jack's Alicia Tarancon joins us live right now. Alicia, Fucci was mumbling throughout his entire hearing today.
That's right, and Aiden Fucci didn't actually appear here at the St. Johns County Courthouse in person. Instead, he went before that judge virtually. Now, again, Fucci made a brief appearance in court Wednesday morning over Zoom. At one point, he was heard mumbling on the phone about demons.
He
you demons. I won't let you demons take my soul. You demons will take my soul away. I won't let you demons kill my soul. I don't know what's going on.
The 14-year-old waived his right to a speedy trial.
Do you think he was faking that? I'm curious. Hang on. I'm going to actually start a new poll. You guys want to go over the gag order? Do we think that he was faking this? I mean, this kid has been like in solitary, like I think 23-1. Okay, here's your poll. Do you think he's faking these hallucinations?
Accused of brutally stabbing 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey to death this past Mother's
Poor
Day.
girl.
Action News Jack showed you new videos from the state attorney's office released a week ago in the murder case. These Snapchat videos show Aiden Fucci in the back of a patrol car.
Did he possibly say he would walk her home if they were at a mutual teen's house? Did he say, I'll walk with you home or something? And then kind of make moves on her, and she was like, no. And then he went off. I mean, isn't that usually the MO? Rejection. He couldn't get the pretty cheerleader. Rejection. Is that a motive? What do we think the motive behind this kid is? He pled guilty, but we still have this kid in our system for the rest of his life. He's only 16, I think.
Laughing before he was considered a suspect.
Having fun in a cop car. Yep. Tristyn, what's up, guys? Yep. Tristyn, if you walk out the when you see this in a month.
The next video.
When you see this in a month. So I think that other kid thought she was still alive. But there's him and her. God, it's terrible to see that. She had no idea. Right there, all unknowing, just like the Idaho 4 at the food truck. Unknowing.
It was the last moments before Tristyn was murdered. She's seen walking with her accused killer in the Durbin Crossing subdivision where the two lived. 90 minutes later, it shows Fucci running away from the crime scene back
90 minutes, so an hour and a half. That's a lot of time.
Towards his home. Another video appears to show Fucci's mother, Crystal Smith, scrubbing blood off her son's jeans. Deputies charged Smith with tampering with evidence, and she was released on a $25,000 bond. And Fucci's mother also did not appear in court today. Her hearing has been moved to October. For now, reporting live here in St. Johns County, Alicia Tarancon, CBS 47.
Missing on Mother's Day, May 9th. Her body was found late.
You know what's really tragic, too, is that not only does her mom have to go through all of this, right, and deal with all of this, but Mother's Day will never fucking be the same. He told people he wanted to kill someone. I don't know if there was SA. I don't think we've ever heard. The only thing we've heard is that she was stabbed 117 or 119 times, which is absolutely unimaginable. And the tip of the knife was actually found in this poor girl's skull. That's how hard he was thrusting the knife. That to me says rage and anger. Like in the moment too. Like angry.
In the name of Jesus, Father God, Lord.
That day in her Durbin Crossing neighborhood. The following day, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office announced the arrest of Aiden Fucci.
I can't remember though how she first reported missing. Let's try to go back a little bit. I always spell her name wrong too. Tristyn Bailey, was she reported missing? I want to see like the first report. It's so sad. Let's see. Oh, here, a year ago, the sheriff says he's not cooperating, so Aiden wasn't cooperating. look at, they recovered the blade tip too. Hold on.
"13-year-old Tristyn Bailey was last seen around midnight Saturday night. She was found dead less than 24 hours later. Police found the teen's body in a wooded area in this quiet Durbin Creek neighborhood, and it didn't take long to make an arrest. Sheriff Robert Hardwick announced the arrest of 14-year-old Aiden Fucci.
We have a suspect in custody. That is the only suspect that has to do with the death of Tristyn.
Neighbors say this is where Fucci lived. Police have been investigating the home since last night. A teen who lives nearby spoke to us with permission from his parent, but did not want to be identified.
He was older than me. I didn't really talk to him.
The teen says he usually saw Fucci on a skateboard. Right now, Fucci is facing a second-degree murder charge.
We can always increase the charge, but as we spoke of this case last night, based on the facts we have, that's given time for our investigative team.
Well, we know they upped that to first degree, right? And then here is the knife. They did release some evidence as well. Let's take a look.
Just days before jury selection is scheduled to begin in the trial of an accused after his arrest, showing what investigators said were injuries.
So these are the injuries he had after stabbing her 100 and some odd times.
Injuries to his arms and.
Do we think that that's a defensive wound?
Both of his hands. Now, these pictures also include the alleged murder weapon.
Tonight, our Taylor Levesque.
See, the very tip is missing. That was in Tristyn's skull.
Has been going through this new evidence. She's joining us now in the studio. Taylor, this new evidence includes interviews with Fucci's closest friends.
Yeah, that's right. Aiden Fucci's girlfriend and his best friend were interviewed by investigators in the hours after Tristyn Bailey was found stabbed to death in the Durbin Crossing neighborhood in St. Johns County. Both described Fucci as a teen with a dark sensibility who frequently made alarming comments about his desire to kill and had a plan to do so. Fucci's friend told investigators Fucci kept folding pocket knives on him for protection when he wasn't at school, and he nicknamed two of those knives.
What's his dad's name, you guys?
Fucci's best close friend, who was with him the night of the murder but was not believed to have been involved, told investigators Fucci didn't name anyone in particular but described a plan for how he would carry out the killing.
He said that he would just walk at night or something and find like a random person walking to and just drag them in the woods and stab them.
Okay.
He said that he thinks it's gonna happen soon. He said I should expect it within the month.
And this girl didn't report this? Dude, why are kids so stupid? This girl could have saved her life, possibly.
Fucci's best friend said Fucci and Bailey were at his house the Saturday of the murder, but left around 1 a.m. He says he didn't learn anything was wrong until officers came to his home Sunday morning telling him Bailey was missing. Both he and Fucci were detained. While in the same squad car, the friend said Fucci joked about both of them going to prison. Both of the teenagers said despite his disturbing comments, they didn't believe he would actually kill someone. Coming up at 6, what Fucci's friends told investigators about his home life and his mental health.
I guess if you put yourself into the shoes of a teenager, you wouldn't think that your fellow classmate would actually do that. But I don't know, this day and age. Here's the blade tip video.
And he's joining us now live from the Duval County Jail near the crime scene.
That's right, Ken. Fucci has been locked up here a while. This has been something that's been going on more than a year. And this is a real crystal part of evidence that links possibly the murder weapon to Tristyn Bailey's body. The brief 2-page report shows a critical piece of evidence in the case against accused killer Aiden Fucci. It involves the knife that News4Jack's cameras saw investigators recover from a pond shortly after Tristyn Bailey's body was found. Read this excerpt. It concerns that knife and something found embedded in Tristyn's scalp. It is therefore concluded that the item 20 knife blade tip recovered from the victim's scalp and the item 19 buck knife were at one time a single item.
Some rust or something like that, but I mean, the important parts of the knife, maybe the name, serial number, model number, those could likely still be on it.
I sat down with Belkis Plata, a local criminal defense lawyer not affiliated with the case. She says the fact that the knife appears to have been in the lake only a short amount of time means forensics will likely not have much trouble tying it to Fucci.
What's a defense lawyer doing with this piece of information now that it's being submitted?
So now you're trying to find out, how can they possibly tie this to my client? Where did this knife come from? Who's purchased it? Where do they sell it? Trying to kind of go backwards to piece it together.
This is another development in the highly publicized murder case that most people in St. Johns County already know about, which is one reason why Plata suspects defense attorneys could push for a change of venue in the trial.
Whoa, I just found info on his dad. You guys aren't kidding. Let's take a look at Aiden Fucci's dad. Wow, the apple does not fall far from the tree. I have to admit, I never dug into this case. But wow, it's all here. Numbered very easily for your reading pleasure. Holy shit. Okay. But the question is, did Aiden live with this dude? His mom and dad were never married. So was Aiden subjected to this guy? Because this is one scary looking dude, you guys. Check this out. Yikes. That's all I got to say to that is yikes. That's Aiden Fucci's father. This is Jason Fucci. And I have no idea why he's even not in jail. This is from St. John's Regional Detention Center. This photo. He was born and raised in Jacksonville. Aside from Jacksonville, he's lived in other parts of Florida, including Orange Park and Middleburg. He's 6'2" and 232. He has a cross tattoo on his left shoulder. I love this rundown, by the way. On January 1st of 2003, he was accused of child abuse, injury, neglect. On November 17th, 2004, he was found guilty and sentenced to 1 year and 2 months in prison. On October 1st, 2003, he was arrested for engaging in sexual activity with a 15-year-old girl at his home. He was found guilty and sentenced to 2 years probation. What is going on in Florida here? Let me say that again. You didn't hear that incorrectly. He was arrested for engaging in sexual activity with a 15-year-old in his home. He was found guilty and sentenced to 2 years probation, with 158 days given as credit. He violated the condition and was jailed for 14 months. He was a Robinson irrigation employee in Jacksonville when he was arrested on October 1st, 2003. On December 7th, 2004, he was booked into the Florida Department of Corrections in Tallahassee. So he was booked on December 7th and let out June 28th of 2005. He stated his residence upon release was in Middleburg, Florida. Him and Crystal Smith have a son named Aiden Sean, who was born in 2007. So Aiden was born after this horrific shit he did. Aiden attended Patriot Oaks Academy. He and Yasmin S. Fucci own Fucci's Full Package LLC, a landscaping company in Jacksonville. He started that on August 31st of 2013. You know, that's a really scary thought because I never thought of your lawn guys being pedophiles, predators. So wouldn't it be nice? Like I'm kind of getting off topic here, but it pisses me off. Predators and people that hurt children are like the worst of the worst, right? So isn't it really, really nice to know that the guy that's cutting your lawn when, you know, your kids might be playing outside and shit is a predator? But who names their business Fucci's Full Package? Like, what? Yes, he pled guilty to murder. This all happened before Aiden was even born. So in 2016, though, he was booked for battery. But listen to this. He was accused of getting into a fight at a gas station with a couple while his son was present. So Aiden was born in 2007. When he was 9, he witnessed his dad getting in a fight at a gas station and arrested. That's really all it says on here. He was 36 when Aiden was accused of fatally stabbing Tristyn Bailey 114 times. On May 14th of 21, he and Smith submitted applications for criminal indigent status. The St. Johns County Clerk of Court approved Smith's application, but denied his application due to a clerical error. When he appeared in St. Johns County Court on Aiden's behalf on May 20th, 21, a judge learned he had 3 dependents in his home and granted his indigency status. This dude was living with 3 children after all this. What? There's something wrong with this. Why is this judge, if he learned that this creep has 3 children in his home, why are they not investigating child abuse, injury, engaging in sexual activity with a 15-year-old? Why in the fuck is this guy living with children? Can someone answer that?
Objection.
To me, that's a huge problem. Jesus. I mean, no wonder we keep having more and more victims of child abuse. Look at, there's 3 children living with this monster. Whew. Just when we thought Aiden Fucci was the only problem we were going to discuss today. Here's his dad next to his son. Good Lord above. I'm speechless. I had no idea that. Wow. Just wow. Now, tell me, there's something wrong with this picture when the one on the right is in prison and the one on the left isn't. Right? I don't know his date of birth, guys. I'm just looking at articles here. Hold on. All I did was just pull up his name. The sun was all over it. I mean, sadly, I didn't watch this as close as some cases that I do. God, and the fact that he even showed his face, how embarrassing. Jason Fucci. There's no videos with him in it. Hang on. The Sun. Oh, this just makes me sick. That's his mugshot in 2003 after being accused of child abuse. Oh my God. Why does this dude have children living with him? The defendant. Okay, wait, hold up. This might have his date of birth on it for whoever wanted that. 8/9. Hold on, let me see if I can make that bigger. 8-9, does it say 94? I can't. 84. There's his phone number and everything. Robinson Irrigation. He went to Mandarin High School. This is sick. What does this mean? Not allowed to go to Southern Oaks? What does that mean? What's Southern Oaks? On 9/30/03, the defendant was served with this warrant obtained by the affiant Detective R. Flynn. The following is the narrative of the warrant. The defendant on several occasions had consensual sex with the victim, age 15, at his home, located at 3419 Maiden Voyage Circle North. The defendant was interviewed with his lawyer, Craig Martin, being present, and admitted to having penile vaginal intercourse and oral sex performed on him by the victim. Sick. Poor girl. Jesus. This is awful. His dad, Jason, appeared via Zoom earlier this week. So this is what he looked like on Zoom for his son. There's his mother. But look at what he looks like now. Like, ew, he's so gross, you guys. Now I see why you were bogged out by him.
Usually people think that when we get clients...
Crap, I don't want to watch that. That is scary. And who would marry someone with that kind of a past? Like, how could you do that? All right, there's his parents, Crystal Smith and Jason Fucci. Ugh. That is his real dad. That's his real dad. That's Jason Fucci. Yeah, 8-9. I couldn't really tell the year. Maybe you guys could. But let's see if you guys think he was faking those hallucinations. I don't know. I'm not sure. I mean, we've got to remember, too, that this kid is still, he was 15, you know? Yeah, he can change his little appearance all he wants. Got glasses. He made a goatee, but he's still the same scum he used to be.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a rehab center or somewhere. Maybe he, you know, acted the same as his son and was threatening people and stuff. And that's why he couldn't go back to one certain facility. Who knows? What a scum. What a scum.
Everyone's get treated like scum.
All right, let's go back here. There was one more video I wanted to see of her being reported missing back to the very beginning. I think it was that one.
This was an exhausting search by the neighborhood by the St. Johns
They
County
acted
Sheriff's Office.
quick, though.
We
Quick.
have located a body that is preliminarily identified as Tristyn Bailey.
St. Johns County Sheriff's Department says the search for a missing Florida teenager has been called off after a body was found. 13-year-old Tristyn Bailey was reported missing around 10 Sunday morning. She was last seen around 1:15 that morning at the Durbin Amenity Center. The search was called off shortly after 6 Sunday afternoon after a body preliminarily identified as Tristyn Bailey was found. Sheriff Robert Hardwick says the investigation is still in its early stages right now and isn't giving any information on a cause of death. Katie Johnston for CBSMiami.com.
What did I say the name of that place was? Because I'll Google it up. Let's Google it up and see where his scuzz ass wasn't allowed. I heard he wrote on her with marker, that he actually wrote karma on her body. I don't know if that's just... Exactly. They look very, very rough. Very rough. Southern Oaks. It's an RV park. Southern Oaks. There's a lot of things called Southern Oaks in St. Augustine. And I think this would be St. Johns County. But that's St. Augustine. But I'm still just going to put St. John's. Southern Oaks is a hotel. Southern Oaks Inn. It looks like it's an inn. What the fuck? Southern Oaks. What's his stupid name? This is the kind of dumb shit I do. Jason Fucci. And I see what comes up. This is how I find all this crazy shit. See, I get all these weird photos that come up when I do that. Did I ask you to do that?
Did I ask them to do that?
Jennifer loves horses.
I was just seeing if anything came up, but why would he not be able to go there? It's weird. Maybe he was living there. I mean, he could have been living there, guys. Oops. Who knows? Who knows? But that's all I've got for you today in the Aiden Fucci trial. Here I thought, we'd be covering a trial today, and Aiden went ahead and pled guilty and spared her family ultimately. I know a lot of you guys don't think he did it for her family, which he probably didn't. He probably did it for himself and his mother or whatnot, and we'll continue to follow his mother's case and see what happens. Shell said that she was in court on February 2nd, so we're going to have to dig a little more into that and see what that was all about. Hey, Simon Chaddock. Hey, Trixie. Hey, TKO Brosnan. So you guys, I invite you to come back at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today and join me on a journey into the Idaho 4 case. We are going to talk about Shannon Gray. We're going to talk about the gag order. We're going to talk about the questions that Shannon Gray had for investigators and in particular the Moscow Police Department and what he was told he could not get. We're going to talk about that as well. So please join me back here if you are free at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I can't wait to get your guys' thoughts on this. And until then, dance it out. Enjoy your rest of your morning and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Replay crew, please do give this a thumbs up. And thanks for listening. I will see you guys at 3 p.m. today for our Monday Live. Dance it out.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems.
joint for traps. Taking my telephone for text.
John Wayne Bobbitt's penis.
What you are witnessing is real. The participants are not actors.
But I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to France, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time.